Welcome to Bawashiri again. So it is programming once more. So today we are going to dive into some simple Python programming, and I'm going to show you how we come up with this simple calculator around here. I can give you a preview. You can see 2563 plus 56 equals, that's the answer. We have 8 times 6, that's the answer. 5 divided by 0 equals, math error, I think 6. 3 minus plus 5 times divided by equals syntax error. So 5 minus 6 equals negative 8.5 times 2 equals 17.0. So we are going to see how to come up with this simple calculator in Python, and also we see how to create a Windows setup installation file so that we can install it in our PC. Anybody without Python installed can still use our calculator, or it can be distributed online for download and elsewhere, and it's going to be a Windows executable installation file. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and comment with your concerns. So let's go. We are going to use Python and an editor called Sublime Text. So there we go. Now before we start, I'm going to come on the desktop here, and I'm going to create my folder, and my folder I'm going to name it my calculator, or what have I written, my calculator. So that is the folder I'm going to use. Now in this folder I'm going to open Sublime Text and say new file, that's Control N. Then I'm going to Control Shift S, that is save as. Then I'm going to come on desktop and find my calculator folder. I say open. Then I'm going to save my file as my calc.py. Now py is a file extension for Python files. Then say save. Now when we come in our folder, you see my calc is created. Now I also have here a simple image that I have created, just simplified. I want to make it an icon so that I can use it in my file, in my calculator, as an icon. How do we deal with icons? This is a PNG file. I'm just going to close it. Then I'm going to open a software called Format Factory. Then I'm going to come here to ICO. Then I'm going to add file. Then I'm going to come to desktop. I have here calc, open. Then I say okay. Then I say start. Completed. Then output folder. Already my icon is here. So I'm going to copy this icon. I'm going to cut it to our folder, this one of my calc. Paste. So now we are going to use this one as our icon, and this one is our Python file that we want to code and come up with our complete calculator. Please watch until the end. This is a full video, no cut, no what, full. So get all the concept clearly. So I'm going to close this folder. Now, putting in mind that all our files are in the same folder, I'm going to start writing. I'm going to zoom this so that we can see. Now I'm going to say from tkinter, we are going to use a built-in Python library called tkinter to come up with our graphical user interface. From tkinter import star. This star means I'm going to import everything from tkinter, and I'm going to have my root window tk. Then I'm going to have root.main loop. A, I've gotten N here, then T here. So when I run this, to run here we press Ctrl B. So you see our root window is already there. Then we are going to have a title, and I'm going to call it my calculator, or we can just call it calculator. We see out there, what's wrong with the spellings? So we are going to call it calculator. Then now we are going also to change the icon, and that is the root.iconbitmap. I'm going to use, my icon is called calc.ico. that is the type file, and remember they are in the same folder. Then I'm going to have root.geometry. The position of the screen where I want my window to be appearing, I'm just going to do this 500 plus 200. The size of the widget or the window, the widgets we put in, they are going to give us by themselves. When we run this, hope you can see. You see, this is our icon with the title with an empty frame. So let's start adding widgets there. And then so I'm going to change the background of my window. Root.config bg equals, I'm just going to use, our calc was in black, I'm going to use black, so that is the background color. Then I'm now going to have a text here. I'm just going to have the word equation. Don't forget this equation, we are going to use it somewhere, equals an empty text. So now I'm going to have my first widget, and it is going to be a heading. Then now, to save time, I'm just going to be pasting these codes like this. Then I explain our head. I've just given it a variable name head, then it is a label widget. It is under the root with the text. The text of our widget is calculator, with a background color of black, a foreground color of red, and a font of Algerian, font size 40, then in bold. Are we there? Then we are going to place it, that is head.grid, row equals 1, column 1, padx, that is the padding on x-axis, pad y, that's padding on the y-axis. So when we run this, this is what I mean, what we have added in our window. Remember, it's going to be resized itself. Now, to stop the resizing, I can just add here something little, root.resizable equals, or not equals, root.resizable. What does that mean? It means here this window cannot be resized. Oh no. So that is our first widget. Now I'm going to add an entry box where I can be typing our digits, and there we go. I have here an entry. Are we there? I've over zoomed this. So this entry, it is a widget entry under root, font size, font type times font size 30, it is bold, width 18, then entry.grid row equals 2. Here remember the row was 1, then here row equals 2, column 1, pad x equals that, pad y equals that. That's my design. Please, you can come up with your own design. This is just a guideline. So when we try to run this with our entry entered, you are going to see that we have here our calc with entry. We can type in anything. So what is next? We are going to add buttons to our calculator, and I'm going to have buttons equation. I'm just going to paste here button 1. Are you seeing? Button 1 equals button under frame. Oh, I've not created this frame. Okay, now what we are going to do, I'm going to come here after entry, I'm going to say frame equals frame. It is going to be in the root widget, and it's going to have a background color of red. Are we there? Then it is going to be frame.grid row equals, here it is row 2, so now here I'm going to give it row 3, and column equals 1. Are we there? So when we run what we have done, this is so far one button pressed, but it has no any big function. Are you seeing? As we have already given our button a function which is command equals lambda button press 1, but we have not yet done what? Define that one. Okay, let's define that function. We are going to define a function called button press. Oh, okay, it is btn button press. Then what is going to happen in this button press? So now in this button press, we are going to give it a variable here, number. Then we glob our equation. Remember where we put it in the root. Then equation equals equation plus string number. Then we shall entry.delete. We shall delete whatever shall be in our entry box. Then entry.insert 0 equation. Then we shall be inserting this one. When I give you an example, when now we press 1, you see it can go in our entry window. Okay, just because our button 1 we gave it this function button press. Now we are going to add more buttons. Again, to save time, I'm just going to copy and paste these ones and try to explain a little bit. Okay, now remember at first I had only put this one button 1 with text 1. Now just go on changing something little. This is row 1 column 1, row 1 column 2, row 1 column 3. Are we seeing? Then it takes, this is 1 2 3, this is a plus sign. Then when we go down, then we have 4 5 6, then a minus sign. Then we have 7 8 9, a star, that is multiplication sign. Then we have 0 decimal place, we have an equal sign, then we have a division sign. With this is on row 4 and these ones are on row 3 column 1 2 3 4. Then these ones are on row 2 column 1 2 3 4. Then these ones are on row 1 0 1 row 1 column 1 2 3 4. Then with the functions, as you can see, the commands per each button here, we have lambda button press 1, lambda button press 2, lambda button press 3, lambda button press sign. Like that. As we move down, are we seeing? Please, I can zoom out again. Follow. If you can't get, please get the code, a full code in the description. Get full code in the description, then try to follow one by one. Then when we try to run this, here name equals is not defined. And where is the error? Here command equals. Okay, this command we have not yet created it. It is for a button. When I remove it and put something like that, then I say I run this code, you see, I'll have my calculator like this: 1 2 3 plus 6 9 times 5 equals, but we have not yet put the equals function. Are we there? Now we are going to define the equals function. As we define the equals function, my button I'm going to return it is a function which was equals. Then we are going to come up here on the side of functions, somewhere here, and we define a function called equals. So what is going to happen when that equals button is pressed? So when that equals button you make a mistake and press it, this is what's going to happen. Wow, then define equals is here. It's going to try. We have global equation equals entry.get. So it's going to get whatever you had typed in your entry box. Then we get a variable called answer. It is going to evaluate what it got from your entry box. Then it deletes it. After evaluating, it deletes it. After deleting, then it inserts the answer. After inserting the answer, it sets back the equation to empty. I see. So what about when you divide a number by 0? For example, 5 divide by 0, 9 divide by 0, it gives you a 0 error. That is except. When except the error is zero division error, we are going to delete whatever you have entered in the entry. Then we insert the word math error. Then again we set back the equation to empty. What if it is a syntax error? You have typed something that the math evaluation does not understand. We are going to delete it, then insert the word syntax error, then set back the equation to 0. Let's try this one and see. So when we do 1, 2, 3 times 5, we are going to get an exact answer. 5 plus 6, we are going to get an exact answer. When you get 3 divided by 0, we are going to get math error, the way we have described here. When you get 2 plus times 6 minus things that are not known, and is that is a syntax error. Are we there? So that is how we come up simply with our calculator. Please follow the code in the description. We have the icon, the title, we have the label heading, we have the entry box where we put our digits, then we have the buttons that we press, then we have the operation signs, and we have the what? The equation, the equal sign. So allow me advertise something little here. I'm just going to scroll down a bit down here and add something little. It is just a label. Are you seeing? Just added something little, and that's Bawashiri Enterprises. Now if I'm going to do some padding here, that is pad y, the y-axis equals something like 5. Okay, when I run that one, I think I'm now have Bawashiri Enterprises. I just want you to know this is my own calculator created. So now after having this code, we are going to come up with a full setup and see how we can come up with a Windows setup file that we can install in our computers that don't possess Python installed. So after having this script of ours, we are going to close. Now we open our folder. This is our folder with only our icon and my calculator. I'm going to hold shift, then right click, then open PowerShell window here, or it can say open command line window here. You choose any. It depends on the Windows version that you're having. Mine is going to bring a Windows PowerShell. I'm going to zoom it a bit. Now we are going to use a Python package called pyinstaller to create an executable. If you don't have it, just click your CMD, that is command prompt, then type pip install pyinstaller. Type that command and hit enter button. For my case, you should have an active network connection, please. because the file will have to download from the internet. Well, for my case, they say requirements already satisfied, so no need to download more. pyinstaller, I close. So now we are going to have here a command that we are going to use to come up with an executable, and it is just simple. I'm going to say pyinstaller, begin with the spelling, pyinstaller double minus and say one file, double minus windowed, then icon, double minus icon equals, it was calc.ico. So that is the icon file we are going to have. Then from there you type the real file, which was, I've forgotten, it is mycalc.py. Then you type mycalc.py. Is it the one? Oh, calc starts with capital C. Where is my work? Calc starts with capital C. That is capital C, mycalc.py. Then just hit enter button. Within a couple of seconds, wow, error. Where is it? The spelling of pyinstaller, please. So here I'm going to type again pyinstaller. So we go slowly, double minus one file, double minus windowed, double minus icon equals calc.ico. Is it calc? It is capital letters, calc.ico. Then my file is mycalc.py. So before we hit the enter button, we analyze. So hit enter. Within a couple of seconds, something is going to happen. It has started. Boom! You can see here, completed successfully. So no need of this. I'm going to close. Now when we come back in our folder, we have additional files. We have build folder, we have dist folder, this is distribution, we have my calc.spec. So now when you come here in the distribution folder, we are going to have my calc. Are you seeing with a neat icon? So it is a type application, that is exe for Windows executable. Now when you want to create an installer, this one is a portable one. What do I mean by portable? It means you can run it just like this without installing in the PC. Or trace back. What we need to copy our icon file, come and copy our icon file, then place it near with our executable. Are we there? So when I press my calc application, it can now run 2 plus 3 equals 5. So now what if you want to give a friend? We are going to create a setup file which combines all these files together, which copies all these files together in the PC at once. What do? I'm going to open a software called Inno Setup Compiler. It's around here. I'm going to click enter. I'm going to say create new empty script. No, create a new script file from wizard. I say okay, create a new empty script file. I'm just going to click next. Application name, say calculator. Application version 1.5 you can change. Application publisher you can put /sheet if you also want. https example.com, put your website if you have, then hit next. Program files folder, leave it like there. Application folder name, calculator, no problem. Hit next. I'm going to browse now for my executable that I've created, and it is on desktop. My calculator distribution, it is here, my calc. I say open. Then I'm going to add files. Don't forget our icon, which is here, calc.ico. I say open. So I have these two. The executable is here and the icon file. If you have any other additional file, please, you can add, and say next. Associate this one, ignore. Say next. Create a shortcut, yes. Allow users to create a desktop shortcut, yes. Say next. License file, if you have a license, you can add. Information file shown before installation, information file shown after installation. Me, I'm going to ignore. Administrative install for all users, yes. Next. Windows register file to import. This one, just going to click next. Select languages, all if you want. Say next. Custom compiler output folder. Where should we output our setup when it is finished? We are just going to put in our very folder, which is my calculator. Say okay. And what is the name of our setup? We are going to call it calculator setup. Calculator setup 1.5 Windows 64 version. Custom setup icon file. Just going to use my normal icon, that one. Password, put password if you want your setup to have a password before installation. If not, just ignore like mine and say yes. Finish. Would you like to compile the script now? Yes. This one, ignore. Say no. Within a couple of seconds, it's going to say finished, just around here. Now I'm going to close inner setup. Do you want to save the changes? No need. I'm going to come to my calculator folder. Now this is my calculator setup 1.564, the one we have created. When I save you in a list format, it is here, the one we have created. So it is the one you carry to your friend, the one you upload on the net. What now? How do we install? Just double click. Yes. Then you see selection language English. Say okay. But it's going to go in program files. If you have ever sold the software, you know. I've not created desktop icon. Finish. Let me try installing it again. Here. It has already run. Wow. So if I come, I need a desktop icon, please. I'm going to try installing it again. Say okay. Create a desktop shortcut, yes. Install. Launch, no, I'm going to launch myself. Finished. So it is here, calculator, it is here. Are you seeing? No, not this one. This one was the image, our image we use. So calculator is here. When I click on it, press enter, you see it's going to run 3 minus, oh, that is syntax error. Okay, 5 times 6 equals 30. 8.7 times 5 equals 43.5. Thanks for watching. Please for any comment, any concern. It has been a full video. Thanks for watching. See you when you